All the way back when Palworld first released, there used to be a glitch where you could catch the tower bosses and have them fight alongside you. And while that glitch was patched out of the game easily over a year ago, it seems like Pocket Pair took notice of this and decided to give players a way to get them legitimately, or at least Zoe and Grizzbolt for now. However, even though it's awesome that we're able to use these pals now, the real star of the show is going to be the standalone Zoe that you're able to get as an ally now as well. So because she's such a powerful NPC, I wanted to show you all how to make her really overpowered. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Speakerhead, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make Zoe overpowered in Palworld. Before we get into the video, just a friendly reminder that if you enjoy any of the music you hear during this video or just want to support the channel in general, it's all part of my DMCA free music label, Speakerhead Studios. This is a music label I created and run where all the songs on it are completely DMCA free, so go ahead and use any of these tracks for your content creating needs. We currently have over 70 songs available with more added frequently, so if you're interested in checking that out, all the links will be in the description below. I also want to give a quick shout out to the individuals who suggested I make an upgrade guide on Zoe. Your comments and support are greatly appreciated. Lastly, I want to state right away that I don't plan on making an upgrade guide on Zoe and Grizzbolt, and that's for two main reasons. The first one being that Zoe and Grizzbolt is just definitively weaker than the normal Grizzbolt in terms of their base stats, and while these regular Grizzbolt stats are based off an alpha variant stats, the fact that you're not able to get an alpha variant of Zoe and Grizzbolt kind of proves my point. Now the second main reason, because besides already making an upgrade guide on regular Grizzbolt, which is the same way I'd recommend you upgrade Zoe and Grizzbolt, it's just a lot more work to upgrade Zoe and Grizzbolt compared to the regular one. This mainly comes down to the fact that while you're able to breed passive skills onto a normal Grizzbolt, with Zoe and Grizzbolt you're stuck with just the one, so the only main ways to get passive skills onto them is either by using the PAL surgery table or gambling with Dr. Braun. But due to these reasons, I personally don't see a point of making an upgrade guide on Zoe and Grizzbolt, and to be completely honest, Zoe by herself is just way better in almost every single way, which is why I'm making the upgrade guide you're seeing now. That being said, if you'd like to see me make an upgrade guide for Zoe and Grizzbolt, let me know by leaving a like on this video, and if it hits something like 200 likes, then I can eventually make an upgrade guide for them. But until then, that's where I stand on this situation for now. I know this was a lot to go over right away before even getting into anything, but I did want to mention this right away since I'm sure people will be asking if I plan on making an upgrade guide for them or not. But with all that out of the way, let's get back to the guide. Now before we go over any upgrades for Zoe, we need to go over some of the basics of them first. Zoe is an NPC that can be found at the destroyed church just off to the side of where her tower is located. She'll always spawn as a level 15, and after completing her quests you'll get Zoe and Grizzbolt. However, since we're only focusing on Zoe, all you have to do is catch her the same way you'd catch any other NPC in the game. I just recommend upgrading your capture power and a statue power along with having some decent spheres available to you before attempting to capture this NPC, since it's much harder to capture than regular pals. But quickly moving on to their partner skill now, and this is going to be really easy because since she's an NPC she doesn't have any sort of partner skill. That being said, when it comes to exclusive skills, Zoe's actually going to have one exclusive active skill, which is called Use Weapon. So while every other human in Palworld, even the ones that are holding weapons, will only have the active skill Punch available to them once they're captured, Zoe's a bit of a unique case since she's actually able to use her assault rifle, which is honestly pretty awesome. I also want to mention that there's a bit of a glitch with this active skill since it can show up as being different element types in certain menus. However, just for clarification, Use Weapon is a neutral type move, so any other element types shown are incorrect. Finally, when it comes to Zoe's base skill, she's only going to be a level 2 in handiwork. But now that we've gone over all the basics for Zoe, let's actually start upgrading her. Now the first way to upgrade Zoe is by giving her good passive skills. So when it came to giving Zoe good passive skills, I could see a few different combinations working well with her. However, I decided to give mine Diamond Body, Muscle Head, Serenity, and Vampiric. Now for those who might be thinking, doesn't Zoe have the same issues with passive skills as Zoe is Grizzbolt? And you would be correct about this, except for one main difference. Unlike Zoe and Grizzbolt, which is just placed in your party or pal box with no passive skills, since Zoe is able to be found out in the world, you're able to take advantage of Yakumo's partner skill to help you get the skills you want onto her. So for those who might not be aware, Yakumo's partner skill makes it easier to find wild pals with passive skills similar to itself. And since this ability also works with NPCs, you can use Yakumo's partner skill to help you boost the odds of finding certain skills on Zoe. I personally recommend trying to get as many rainbow passive skills as you can onto Zoe using this method, because you can always use the PAL surgery table to add any extra passive skills you'd like to give to her. While rainbow skills aren't available through the PAL surgery table at this time, this is how I ended up getting both Serenity and Muscle Head onto Zoe, which is why I recommend using it. Also, one other piece of advice I'll give is that once you do catch Zoe, she will stay despawned until the next time you load into your world, so don't worry about only being able to catch one of her. But getting back to the passive skill combination I gave Zoe, these skills will give her a 40% attack
attack boost, a 30% defense boost, a 30% cooldown on all active skills, and finally a lifesteal effect thanks to Vampiric. Now if you want to give your Zoe more power, then you can replace either Diamond Body or Vampiric with Demon God and Ferocious. I'll also mention that you could try to replace Musclehead with Demon God since it does give an extra 5% defense buff. However, Musclehead was just easier to get on her through the surgery table like I mentioned before, so that's why mine doesn't have Demon God. Also, if you want to give your Zoe a bit more defense, then I'd recommend replacing Serenity or possibly even Vampiric with Burly Body or Lunker if you want to also give her some extra elemental attack buffs. Now for the sake of this video, I'll be sticking with the first set of skills that I mentioned. However, a combination of any of the previously mentioned skills would work great with Zoe. But once you got a Zoe with the passive skills you prefer, the next way to upgrade them is by using a Pal Condenser.
Any pal can have their partner skill along with all their general stats upgraded in a Pal Condenser. On top of this, once a pal is fully upgraded in a Pal Condenser, all of their base skills will level up by 1 as well, which can drastically increase production speeds at any base. With a total of 117 pals, you can upgrade a pal 4 times in a Pal Condenser, with the first upgrade needing 4 pals, the next one needing 16 pals, the upgrade after that needing 32 pals, and the final upgrade needing 64 pals.
So while Zoe doesn't have a partner skill to upgrade, it's still a good idea to upgrade her in a Pal Condenser to gain those extra stat increases for each level. Also, since Zoe is an NPC, you can use any other NPC to upgrade her in a Pal Condenser. But once you're done upgrading Zoe in a Pal Condenser, the next way to upgrade her is by using a Statue of Power.
By using a total of 30 small pal souls, 18 medium pal souls, 18 large pal souls, and 90 giant pal souls, you can give a 60% boost to any pal's health, attack, and defense stats. And to get pal souls, you can do this in a wide variety of ways. The first way to get them is by farming them from pal drops. And to help you with this, here's a list of every pal in the game that drops pal souls. So the next way to get pal souls is by farming predator pals, which drop giant pal souls. And to help you with this as well, here's the current map found on Palworld's official website of where all the predator pals spawn. Another way to get pal souls is by doing the Pal Genetic Research mission in the Pal Expedition Station. I'll also mention that there are other missions that will give pal souls as well, but this is the only mission that'll give all 4 types of pal souls. Now the last way you can get pal souls is by fishing or doing salvages. By using a fishing pole, bait, and a powerful fishing magnet for salvages, which can be unlocked at level 61, you can get a wide variety of items including pal souls from both these tasks. I will mention that there's other ways of getting pal souls, such as finding them in chests or just on the ground all across the map, but all of the previously mentioned ways are how I personally stock up on pal souls.
So once you're done upgrading Zoe in a Statue of Power, the next way to upgrade her is by hitting that subscribe button and liking the video. Doing both these things will give you and Zoe an 100% boost in being awesome, plus it helps support the channel, so if you enjoy this sort of content and want to see more of it, make sure to subscribe. But getting back to the guide, the next way to upgrade Zoe is by increasing her hidden potential stats.
By using ability glasses unlocked at level 34, you can see the hidden potential stats of any pal in the game. And by using one of 3 types of pal fruits, you can increase one of these stats by 10 depending on which fruit you give your pal. Now in order to get pal fruits, you can do this through a few different methods. The first way to get pal fruits is by defeating either the Bellinor Libero, Blazemut Ryu, Xenolord, or the Moonlord raid bosses. The next way to get them is by buying them from any metal merchant located at any destroyed church on the map using dog coins. To get dog coins, you can find them by searching land and water salvage piles, elemental chests, supply drops, and treasure spots. On top of this, you can also get them through the Moonflower Secret Hideout mission in the Pal Expedition Station. And finally, the best way to get dog coins is by getting them as drops from wild Mimogs. Also a helpful tip for hunting Mimogs to have a Catress with you while searching for these pals. While fighting together, Catress's partner skill makes neutral type pals drop more items when defeated, which includes Mimogs and dog coins. And don't forget to upgrade Catress's partner skill in the Pal Condenser to further increase the amount of dog coins Mimogs drop. But moving on to the next way you can get pal fruits, and that's by getting them from a vigilante bounty officer using bounty tokens. Bounty tokens are another form of rare currency that can only be obtained after defeating wanted NPCs across the map, with the more difficult ones dropping more tokens. Also, to help you get more bounty tokens, I recommend catching the wanted NPCs in high tier spheres and then butchering them to gain double the amount of tokens. And you can do this either by hand or with a pal disassembly conveyor. You could also use Splatterina and their partner skill to further increase the amount of tokens you could get. However, keep in mind that this ability only works with pals that are butchered by hands, along with it not always giving extra tokens with their ability. Finally, the last main way to get pal fruits is by buying them from the arena merchant using tickets, which can be earned after each arena victory. So while these are the main ways to get pal fruits, there is another way to increase your pal's hidden potential stats, and that's by using Dr. Braun. This is a special NPC that can be found randomly anywhere on the map that has the ability to operate on 1 pal per day. What this operation does is it'll either increase or decrease your pal's hidden stats depending on how the operation goes. A good operation has a chance of increasing a pal's stats by 15 or 30 points, along with possibly giving them a new random positive passive skill, while a bad operation will decrease a pal's stats by 30, along with possibly giving it a new random negative passive skill. So even though this operation generation is a bit of a gamble, I wanted to mention it for those who may be interested in trying this method out.
Now regardless of which method you decide to go with, you want to upgrade Zoe's hidden potential stats until all of them are at 100. So once you finish upgrading Zoe's hidden stats, these are currently all the permanent upgrades you can do to her at this time. However, there still are a few temporary upgrades you can do to Zoe, and the first of these upgrades is by increasing her trust level. With the Tides of Terraria update, trust levels have been added to every pal in the game, which can increase or decrease depending on how you treat your pals. Every pal will start with a level 1 trust level and can go all the way up to level 10, with each level increasing the pal's general stats. And to level up this stat, all you have to do is anything that'll gain you experience, even if it's just exploring new areas around the map. That being said, another simple way of upgrading this stat is by feeding your pal kinship peaches. This is a new consumable that'll drastically increase a pal's trust level, with around 10 of these bringing a pal's trust level all the way up to 10. Plus you can get these from a vigilante bounty officer for 15 bounty tokens, from the main chest at stronghold outposts, and finally they can be randomly found growing around the world. But when it comes to leveling up any pal's trust level, kinship peaches are going to be the fastest way to increase this stat. I also want to mention I haven't had any of my pal's trust levels drop, so I'm not totally sure how easy it is to make this stat decrease, but since this stat does have the potential to go down, that's why I wanted to put it in this section of the video instead of with the permanent upgrades. So moving on to the next way you can temporarily upgrade Zoe, and that's with food. Depending on what food you or your pal eats, they can grant a wide variety of benefits such as attack boosts, defense boosts, work speed boosts, along with many others. For combat purposes, I always go with either Mammoth Curry or Galeclaw Nikujaga. However, I highly recommend looking through all the different food options you can craft to see which ones might work best for you. Now the next way you can temporarily upgrade Zoe is by using accessories. By using a combination of general attack whistles, general defense whistles, and elemental support whistles, you can increase either a pal's general stats or specific type moves. Now to make Zoe as strong as possible, I decided to use a rare attack whistle, an uncommon attack whistle, a normal attack whistle, and finally a rare defense whistle. That being said, if you only plan on using one type of elemental moves with Zoe, then I would replace the normal attack whistle with a rare elemental whistle of the element you plan on using with them. I'll also mention on a regular basis I would normally replace the normal and uncommon attack whistles with player accessories. However, to make Zoe as versatile as possible with her moveset, these are the accessories I'd recommend using with her. So moving on to the next temporary upgrade for Zoe, and that's by using either of the boost guns. These are support weapons that'll either boost allied pals stats or damage enemies depending on which target you're shooting at. This boost will affect allied pals for 30 seconds, will give varied stat increases depending on which gun you use. But by taking advantage of either of these boost guns, you can give an extra boost to your pals during difficult fights if you need to. And now on to the very last way you can temporarily upgrade Zoe, and that's by doing upgrades in the Pal Labor Research Laboratory. What this structure does is it'll give passive boost to your base and the pals working at your base depending on which paths you upgrade. There are 9 different categories you can upgrade, with each one having their own unique benefits. That being said, if you were to upgrade the far right path on all 9 categories, then you could give all the pals working at your base an 18% boost in attack and defense. Just keep in mind that these upgrades will only work with pals working at your base. But with that last upgrade out of the way, that's currently every upgrade you can do to Zoe at this time. So if you upgraded her the same way as I did in this video, not including upgrades from the Pal Labor Research Laboratory, then her stats should generally look like these. Now instead of just showing a bunch of numbers on screen, we're gonna have Zoe do a quick fight against normal mode Selyne to test out how strong she really is. Also, for those who are curious, these are the active skills that my Zoe will be using during this fight, which were given to her via skill fruits. But without further ado, let's start battling Selyne. Alright Zoe, let's see what you can do against your fellow tower boss. Get a bit of lag, you hate to see that. So as you guys saw, I decided to give her all dragon type moves, so I gave her a dragon support whistle as well, a rare one, because I just wanted to give her as much power as possible. Doing a great job, Zoe. Proud of ya. Ooh, hate to see that though. Tank that hit. Love to see it, Zoe. See, that's why she's really good as well, because she just has so much health. I think she has the most health out of anything in the game at the moment. I'm not totally sure, but it seems like it so far. Alright, I'm gonna pull Zoe out of this corner just so this fight isn't happening all over here. Zoe, you can come back out. Tank that, Zoe. See, like it's nothing.
I will say I have noticed she gets knocked out a lot. I don't know if it's just because she's an NPC or something, but I have noticed that as well. So keep that in mind if you plan on using Zoe. Come on, Zoe. Just a few more good hits. I believe in you. See, while she's not the strongest NPC or pal in the game, well, she's really strong. It's mainly her health. She's just an absolute tank in terms of health. Get him. Come on, Zoe. Ah, so close. Finish the job. Finish the mission. Here's a boost. Get him. Let's go. Nice job, Zoe. It took you a little bit, but look at that health. Barely anything.
So with that battle finished up, here's where Zoe stacks up on our chart, and overall not too bad at all. That's going to be my upgrade guide for Zoe. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you found this video helpful, and also let me know what pals you'd like to see me upgrade in the future. Finally, once again, if you enjoyed any of the music you heard during this video or just want to support the channel in general, you can check out my DMCA free music label SpeakerEd Studios in the description below. But that's all I have to say for now, so thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch all y'all in the next one. Take it easy, everybody.